Published 0452 Est, the 29th of December 2017. Updated 0632 Est, the 29th of December 2017. England head coach Trevor Bayliss revealed his side are not under any investigation over allegations of ball-tampering and believes the claims are another example of pommy bashing in Australia. Controversy arose on the penultimate day of the fourth Ashes Test in Melbourne when several commentators drew attention to television footage which appeared to show England seamer James Anderson rubbing a thumbnail on the ball. Using a thumb or fingernail in an effort to scuff up one side of the ball in a bid to encourage reverse swing is strictly prohibited, and the tourists were warned by the umpires about throwing the ball on the bounce to wicket-keeper Johnny Bairstow. The likes of Shane Warne, Mitchell Johnson and Mike Hussey questioned England's behaviour when TV pictures showed James Anderson rubbing the ball with what looked like his nail. The former Australia stars lined up to suggest Anderson was involved with ball tampering. However, Bayliss said Anderson is not under suspicion from the umpires and pointed out England's leading wicketaker of all time had been attempting to clean the shiny side of the ball. He told BT Sport, "As soon as I did see it, I went to the umpires to find out what was going on. There was absolutely nothing to worry about. You're able to clean the ball, and that's what we were doing. He was cleaning the ball, and if he was trying to rough it up, he was trying to rough the wrong side up. That was the shiny side his thumb was on. The umpires have got absolutely no problem with it at all." The umpires had words with Anderson and Joe Root, but they had done the same with the hosts Mitchell Johnson ball reversing in under 10 overs. Shane Warne: "I'm not sure you are allowed to use your fingernail there. If you're going to touch the ball at all, it's not just shining it, you want to do it right in front of the umpire so they know there is nothing untoward going on." But I'm not sure that Jimmy Anderson. This might get some people talking. Michael Slater: "You can get your nail into the ball. That's a no-no." Michael Hussey at DIDNT: "Look great, to be honest. There might be a little bit of a please explain there for Jimmy Anderson. I know there's a lot of tactics, but there's a bit of a line there that you shouldn't cross in picking the seam of the ball and things like that." Former Australia international Shane Warne was among those to speculate on the drama, as England all but secured at least a draw at the MCG, ensuring they would avoid a second successive whitewash down under. Bayliss added, "We've had a good couple of days and there hasn't been a lot of positive pressure from their point of view, so there's been a bit of pommy bashing there. We're used to that, I suppose. We knew when we came here it was going to be 24 million versus 11. We've just got to laugh it off as part of the game. You've got to put up with it." Australia are still 61 runs in arrears after closing a rain-shortened day on 103 for 2, although their two key batsmen David Warner 40 not out and captain Steve Smith 25 no are still at the crease. The hosts collapsed from 260 for 3 to 327 all out in their first innings, so Bayliss remains positive England can seal a consolation win in a series in which they are trailing 30. He said, "The first innings we took 6 or 7 wickets for not a lot of runs, so it is possible. Obviously, the two best Australian batsmen are at the crease at the moment, so they'll be difficult to get through, but if we can do that and put some pressure on the rest of the batting lineup, pressure can do funny things." Trevor Bayliss dismissed the claims of ball-tampering as another example of pommy bashing. "What's all the fuss about?" Australia's Channel 9 broadcast footage of Jimmy Anderson's left thumbnail on the ball on the fourth day's play at the MCG. 3 ex-Aussie Test stars were in the commentary box at the time. Shane Warne said, "I'm not sure you're allowed to use your fingernail there." Michael Slater quickly added, "That's a no-no." Then, Mike Hussey suggested Anderson might need to explain himself to match referee Ranjan Madrigal. So what was Anderson up to? Not a lot. He was removing mud from the ball, which is perfectly legal, though it's better to do it in front of the umpires to avoid any suggestions of skullduggery. England coach Trevor Bayliss correctly dismissed the story as pommy bashing and a beat-up. The umpires were not interested in the slightest. Why the ball-tampering headlines in that case? It's one of the most emotive issues in the game. Whenever pictures emerge of a fingernail anywhere near the ball, Law 42.3b is invoked, which says you can't interfere with any of the seams of the surface of the ball. The aim of tampering is to affect the ball's flight. If you lift the seam, for instance, it creates a flap, which acts as a small rudder. And if you rough up one side while keeping the other smooth, the rough side meets with more air resistance, and travels more slowly through the air than the shiny side, which can result in swing. Is that why the umpires get hot under the collar when teams throw the ball in on the bounce? Yes. The aim is to rough up one side of the ball by throwing it into the abrasive parts of the square. In theory, this should help with reverse swing, where it's vital that one side of the ball stays dry. Every team in the world does it, so it feels a bit arbitrary when the umpires do object. What's the difference between conventional swing and reverse swing? Reverse swing tends to kick in when the ball gets older, perhaps around the 40-over mark, but only if it's dry. For reasons scientists are yet to properly explain, it tends to swing in the opposite direction to what you would expect. Pakistan's Wasim Akram and Waqar Yunus won a series in England in 1992 with reverse swing, while England themselves used it successfully during the 2005 Ashes. So in this case it's much ado about nothing. Yes, Australians like to mock whinging poms, but they've chosen a quiet news day to reveal that the whinging isn't a one-way street. By Lawrence Booth.